Morning all of you. Welcome back to course Artificial Intelligence. Our today's topic of video is predicate logic example. So in the last video we understand about prepositional logic as well as the predicate logic. So we understand that prepositional logic is useful in order to represent a knowledge which is having either value true or false, but not both. But suppose there are certain statement which is not true, or you can say not false, so at that time prepositional logic is not useful. So for that purpose we have seen the concept of predicate logic, because predicate logic have power. It is an extended version of prepositional logic which can able to represent knowledge which is not only true false but both also. Means predicate logic is having more power as compared to the prepositional logic. So we discuss about the power of a predicate logic. We understand what are the different components of predicate logic, including its universal quantifier and existential quantifier, and we also discuss the various examples. Now in this today's video we are going to discuss about the problem that we can solve based on the predicate logic. So let's try to solve a problem based on predicate logic. So we can say this is a see, first of all we are not going to discuss about this conversion, because in order to solve this particular problem, this is one of the step to convert this predicate logic into clause form. Also we need to have this resolution. So this is what example that I want to discuss over here, and once we understand this example then I will discuss that clause also. Means simultaneously I make use of this conversion procedure as well as I will tell you about the resolution algorithm, because if I directly discuss the clause form and the resolution you will not able to understand it properly. So we try to understand this example so that you will understand conversion of predicate logic to the clause form as well as the resolution procedure. So first of all we'll understand the problem. So this is a problem. Consider the following sentences. So total 9 statement has been given to us, and we have been asked to prove the statement that Marcus hates Caesar. This is a statement we have to prove. So you need to understand that sometimes you have been asked to convert this given statement into only predicate logic form. Sometimes they will ask you to obtain the clause form, and sometimes such kind of statement is given at the last that prove you have to prove a particular statement. So when you got a problem where you need to prove something, so in that case this kind of problem can be solved in 3 steps. So 3 steps are involved. So very first step is that generating the predicate logic for given problems or given statement. Then you have to convert that predicate logic to the clause form, and in the third step you need to prove it by means of contradiction by making use of a resolution algorithm. Resolution algorithm can be used to prove the particular statement. So there will be the procedure. So first of all we try to understand step 1. Step 1 is very simple. That means convert a given statement into a predicate logic form. So one by one we'll discuss all these 9 statement and we understand how to obtain the predicate logic for given statement. So very first statement is what? Marcus was a man. So this is a simple statement, and for this we need to generate a predicate logic. So what is given over here? Marcus was a man. So we can say that man is a class to which Marcus was belong. So we need to write man outside the bracket, and inside the bracket we need to write a Marcus because whenever we discuss about the predicate logics, at that time we understand that predicate logic we have relation, function. So, in that case we also have the predicate. So we can say man is a predicate for this, and Marcus is a argument that we are passing to that particular predicate. So how to write the clause predicate logic for man in bracket Marcus. So this is a predicate logic for this statement Marcus was a man. So this is a very simple statement. Then second statement, Marcus was a Pompeian. Okay, Marcus was a Pompeian. Again we can say Pompeian is a class to which Marcus was belongs. So same thing, Pompeian will write outside and in bracket we write Marcus. So here we have written Pompeian in bracket Marcus. So how to read this? Marcus was a Pompeian. Marcus was a man. Like this you can represent it. Okay. and we understand that we cannot represent the tense in case of predicate logic. Suppose here we can write Marcus is a man, then again it is same. Suppose we have written Marcus is a Pompey, then also its predicate logic is same, because predicate logic is not able to represent the tense of a given statement. Now the third statement, all Pompeians were Romans. Now here we have seen that one word is there, all. So if you remember that we have discussed about two quantifiers. One is a universal quantifier and second one is a existential quantifier. So when we are using universal quantifier, when you are talking about all, everyone, such kind of statement is there, such kind of words is being used in a statement, at that time you have to use inverted A. That is called as a for all. For all symbol you have to use a for all symbol whenever we are talking about all, each, everyone, like this. So you need to use universal quantifier, and universal quantifier is represented by inverted A. So here what we have written, all Pompeians were Roman. So how to write this? And we also understand that along with the universal quantifier we are going to make use of what? Implication sign. Okay, so how to write an answer? For all x, if x is a Pompeian, then x is a Roman. What is the statement? All Pompeians were Romans. So here we have written, why we have used this universal quantifier for all, because in this case it talks about all. Okay, and we know that universal quantifier make use of implication sign to represent it. So how to read this? For all x, if x is a Pompeian, then x is a Roman. So this is what the predicate logic for this statement, all Pompeians were Roman. Then the next statement, Caesar was a ruler. Again this is a simple statement. We can say ruler is a predicate, Caesar is a argument that we pass to ruler. So simply we can write ruler in bracket Caesar. How to read this? Caesar is a ruler, Caesar was a ruler, like this. Next statement, all Romans were either loyal to Caesar or hated him. So in this case we are talking about all. That means one thing is very clear, we need to make use of universal quantifier, and suppose we are using universal quantifier, we need to also make use of implication sign. So try to represent it. All Romans were either loyal to Caesar or hated him. So how to write? For all x, if x is a Roman, then x is loyal to Caesar or x hate to Caesar. Okay, so in this way we have represented this statement. So x will represent the Roman. Okay, so we are talking about Roman. All Romans were either loyal to Caesar or hated him. So that's why we have written the statement like this. For all x, if x is a Roman, then x is loyal to Caesar or x hate to Caesar. So in this case we are using implication as well as we are using or, because in this statement we have used the or. That's why we are also use disjunction as a connective over here. Okay, then we talk about everyone is loyal to someone. Now this is a statement in which we have all as well as we are talking about someone. Okay, so we understand that quantifiers are available. In order to represent all, we are using for all x, for all, and for, in order to represent some few, we need to make use of existential quantifier. So these are two quantifiers is being used. So this is a statement where we have both the thing. We are talking about all also, and we are talking about some or few also. That means one thing is very clear, that in this case we have to make use of both the quantifier, not only universal quantifier, but we have to make use of existential quantifier also. Okay, you have to make use of both the quantifier in order to represent this. So we are talking about everyone is loyal to someone. So let's see how to represent it. For all x, there exists some y where x loyal to y. So this is how we have represented this statement. Everyone is loyal to someone. How we have written? For all x, there exists y where x is loyal to y. So x is going to represent for all and someone is represented by y. So in this way we have written a statement. Now the next statement, people only try to assassinate rulers they are not loyal to. So this is how somehow complex statement that we have to represent it in a predicate logic. People only try to assassinate rulers they are not loyal to. So we are talking about people, that means we are talking about all. Okay, so we need to understand. So how to represent this? For all x there exists some y. Okay, people only try to assassinate rulers they are not loyal to. Means whenever we are talking about people, people means what? All. So for that purpose we have used there exists symbol, universal quantifier inverted a. So for all x there exists y, where there exists y if x is a person and y is a ruler. So in this case we are making use of x to represent people and y is used to represent ruler. So if x is a person and y is a ruler and x try to assassinate y, then x is not loyal to y, because x is going to represent person and y is going to represent the ruler. So in this way we have represented. So try to understand how we have represented that. People only try to assassinate rulers they are not loyal to. So in order to represent the people we have used all for all x, and similarly for all ruler we are talking about not one ruler but we are talking about all rulers. That's why here we have taken two universal quantifier, one universal quantifier to represent all people, another universal quantifier to represent all the rulers. We are not talking about only particular one ruler but we are talking about all. That's why we have written like this: for all x and all for all x for all y, if x is a person and y is a ruler, then x try to assassinate y, then x is not loyal to y. So in this way we obtain this. Then next statement is Marcus tried to assassinate Caesar. Marcus tried to assassinate Caesar. This is another statement. So very simple. Assassinate is a we can say predicate and it accepts the two argument. One is a Marcus and second one is a Caesar. So it's very simple. Try to assassinate in bracket Marcus comma Caesar. How to read this? Marcus tried to assassinate Caesar. See, if you change the sequence of argument, so it results into change in the meaning of the statement, because in the statement it is given Marcus tried to assassinate Caesar. So how to read this? Marcus tried to assassinate Caesar. If you write Caesar comma Marcus, what it means? Caesar tried to assassinate Marcus. So you need to take care of this sequencing of a argument. First argument and second argument play very important role. Marcus tried to assassinate Caesar. So one thing is clear from this: whatever the verb, whatever the relationship, whatever the function that you have identified, that you have to write outside the bracket, and in the bracket you need to provide the argument. Argument means what? Just like a particular name. In this case we are talking about Marcus. Marcus is a name, Caesar is a name. So that we are passing as an argument to that particular relation, function or particular verb. The next one is all men are people. Okay, so how to represent it? For all x, if x is a man, then x is a person. So this is how we have completed our step number 1, that is conversion of all the statement into predicate logic form. I just told you that this kind of problem can be solved in 3 steps. Whenever you got such kind of problem, you need to that problem will ask you to prove something. So this kind of problem can be solved in 3 steps. Step 1 is generation of predicate logic, and step 2 is conversion of that predicate logic into clause form. And in order to convert this predicate logic into clause form, we need to follow some rules. So that has been given over here. So I will discuss one by one rule and then make use of it so that you will understand. Directly suppose I explain the rule, you will not understand what are the rules that you need to follow while converting given predicate logic to the clause form. So here simple thing is there. First rule is what? You have to eliminate the implication sign. So while converting the predicate logic to the clause form, you have to try to eliminate the implication sign. So how to eliminate this? So A equivalent to B, A implies B is equivalent to negation of A or B. That means suppose in the predicate logic you found implication sign, then you have to replace it by this kind of expression, negation of A or B. That means you need to apply negation sign to the left hand side variable, and then you have to replace this implication sign by OR, and this second term, right hand side term, will remain as it is. So this is very important because in most of the statement you may find implication sign. So whenever you will find implication sign in the predicate logic, while converting it into clause form, you have to replace it with this particular expression, negation of A or B. Then you have to try to reduce the scope of negation sign. Suppose you found that negation sign is given outside the bracket, so you need to reduce the scope. You need to apply this negation sign to all the terms which is present in the bracket. Then next one is standardization of variable. Standardization of variable means what? So in this numerical we have total 9 statement. Okay, 9 statement is there, so obviously we need to represent it with a particular variable. So we are most of the time we have used the x variable, y variable. So you have to standardize it, means you have to give the range x1, x2, x3 like this. So I will explain, don't worry about this. Just try to understand that these are the rules which are very frequently being used in the numerical. Then next one is move all quantifier to the left of the formula without changing their order, like this. Next one is you have to eliminate the existential quantifier. You have to remove all the quantifiers that is given in the numerical itself. Then drop the prefix, drop the matrix, then create a separate clause form, and a standardization that we understand that making use of x1, x2, x3 like this. Now just try to convert this predicate logic into clause form. Okay, that is step number 2. Step number 2 is conversion of predicate logic to the clause form. So what is the first statement? Marcus was a man. So man in bracket Marcus. So can we apply any clause form? Is there any possibility? Is there any standardization of variable is possible, or is there any existential quantifier or quantifier is present? No. Is there any implication sign is there? No. So in the clause form this statement will remain as it is. Here you can see there is no scope to convert this statement into clause form. It will remain as it is. Now the second statement, Pompeian in bracket Marcus. So again in this statement there is no scope for converting into clause form because it does not consist of any of this. Then next statement is yes, here quantifier is also there, and also well as implication sign is there. So there is a scope to convert this statement into clause form. How? Now see here. What formula we need to apply? A implies B is replaced by negation of A or B. That means on the left hand side term we need to apply negation sign, and right hand side term will remain as it is, and this implication sign is replaced by OR, and you have to remove this universal quantifier as well as existential quantifier. So in step number 3 here you can see, in third statement you can see we have removed the quantifier, that is for all, and then we applied it negation sign, negation of Pompeian of x1. So here x is there. We talk about standardization of variable. So whenever you will find x for multiple time, you have to give the name x1. Again you find x, you have to give as a x2 likewise. So here negation of Pompeian in bracket x1, and this implication sign is replaced by or Roman in bracket x is there, so that has been replaced by x1. So this is a clause form for this particular statement. So in this case what we understand, we have removed a universal quantifier as well as we have removed the implication sign, and we have replaced this x with x1. This is called as a standardization of variable. Okay, now the next statement, whether we require any whether do we need to convert this into clause form, is there any modification required? No, because in this case nothing is present, so it will remain as it is. So here 4 statement remains as it is. In the 5th statement, yes, there is a possibility because there is a universal quantifier is present, implication sign is also present, and as well as their term x is also present. So in this case there is a scope to convert this statement into clause form. So let's see here how to convert this. What we have done, first of all we need to remove this symbol, we have done this, and on the left hand side term we need to apply implication sign. So left hand side term of this implication we need to apply negation sign. So negation of Roman and this here x is there, here we have used x1, so here we are going to use x2. So how we have written negation of Roman of x2, then that implication sign is replaced by or, and rest of the thing will remain as it is. Loyal to only x is replaced by x2 Caesar, or again here x2 is there, here this x is replaced by x2, this or will remain as it is, and the Caesar will remain as it is. So this is what a clause form that we obtain for this statement number 5. Then statement number 6, in this case is there any possibility? Yes, obviously. So in this case, one more thing that you need to understand, whenever you will find existential quantifier, you have to convert it into terms of function of x. Okay, means again I am repeating, whenever you will find there is a use of existential quantifier in a given predicate logic, and while converting into the clause form, you have to convert this in terms of function. So I will tell you how. So we need to remove all this. So and here x and y is there, standardization of variable is possible. So how we have written loyal to in bracket x3 comma f of x3. Why we have written this x3? Because here we have used x2, so obviously next is a x3, and here y. So I told you that this y belongs to existential quantifier, so we need to convert it into terms of functions of x. So that's why we have written f of x3. So whenever you will find such kind of thing, try to remove that existential quantifier and try to convert it into in terms of function and in terms of functions of x. So here we have written x3 comma f of x3. Okay, why we have written f of x3 instead of y? Because in this case y belongs to that existential quantifier, that's why we have replaced y with this f of x3, right? Then 7 number statement, here we are making use of universal quantifier, so we have to remove it, and we also need to remove this implication sign. So negation is applied to whole this term, because whatever the term which is present on the left hand side of implication, we need to apply implication sign, because our formula is very simple. A implies B is replaced by negation of A or B. That means we need to apply negation to the left hand side, and we have to replace this implication sign by or, and right hand side term will remain as it is. So in this case, how to convert this into clause form? We have to remove this one also, and then standardization of variable. Here we have used x3, obviously here we are going to use x4. Do we need to replace y with x? No, because in this case there is no existential quantifier, so here we have to write as a y1. So see here, negation of man of x4, negation time is applied. Now see here, how here person is there, and how we have written man, because you just see over here, actually cancellation of term is also there. So instead of referring this, you just refer this negation of person of x4. Okay, negation of person of x4 or ruler of y1. See here, we have not replaced this y in terms of x. Why? Because here there is no existential quantifier. In this case we have replaced y with terms of function of x, because there exists existential quantifier. But here we have y, but we are not going to replace it in terms of function of x, because it does not make use of existential quantifier. So you have to replace it only y1. Okay, and then this end is replaced by or, negation of try to assassinate in bracket x4 comma y1. This implication is replaced by or, and rest of the term will remain as it is. Here x4 y1. So here x4 y1. So this is a 7 number statement. Okay, and then statement number 8, try to assassinate Marcus comma Caesar. So here suppose we convert this into clause form, then there will be no change. So here Marcus try to assassinate Caesar, it will remain as it is, there is no change. Now the last statement, here x is missing. For all x, if x is a man, then x is a person. So how to write this? So likewise we can write this we have to replace implication sign with the or sign, means we have to convert this A implies B is replaced by negation of A or B. So we try to apply negation sign on the left hand side term. So negation of man of x4 or person of x4. So now see here, this person and this person will get cancelled, because here negation is there and here we can say it is a negative and it is positive, so it is being cancelled, and this man is replaced over here. Means sometimes student may found that, sir, here in total 9 statements are there, but in the clause form we have only 8. Why is it so? Because as we have cancelled this term, only one term is remaining, so we have attached with here and it is replaced by x4. That's why. Otherwise you will see that, sir, here why we have not used x5. So in order to make cancellation, here we have make use of x4. So this person will get cancelled with this person and this man term is replaced over here. That's why there are total 8 statements are there in the clause form. Though we have total 9 statement in the predicate logic, but in the clause form we have total only 8 statement, because one complete statement get removed just because of the cancellation. So you need to understand, you need to also look for that, is there any cancellation of term, positive negative term can get cancelled. If it is possible, you have to remove it. So this is step number 2, conversion of predicate logic to the clause form. So I hope you understand. I told you that this problem can be solved in 3 steps: conversion of given statement to predicate logic, then conversion of that predicate logic to the clause form, and third step is resolution. In order to prove a given statement, you have to make use of resolution algorithm. So you need to understand that you have to solve this problem, complete problem at once, or you have been asked to solve this problem in the steps only. Means just give the predicate logic of given statement, obtain the clause form for this, and resolution. If we talk about resolution, if problem talk about in order to prove a particular statement, so in that case what you need to do, you need to go through all this step 1, 2 and 3. Step 1 is conversion of given statement to predicate logic, step 2 conversion of that predicate logic to clause form, and third step is conversion of this clause form to the resolution. Okay, now we have jumped to step 3, that is resolution, because we need to prove this statement Marcus hates Caesar. So try to understand this resolution algorithm. So in this case what it will ask, convert all the statement to clause form, that we have already done. Second, negate the given statement, negate the p, that means what was the statement, Marcus hates Caesar, so we have to negate it. Means we have to negate it, Marcus does not hate Caesar. Means whenever we are taking this statement, in order to prove it, we have to negate it. Suppose it is positive, you have to take it as a negative. Suppose it is negative, you have to take it as a positive. As per the resolution algorithm, you have to negate the given statement which you want to prove, and then you have to repeat until contradiction is found. Now let me tell you about this. So this is step 1. Step 2 clause form, and now step 3 resolution. So what is the statement that we want to prove? Marcus hates Caesar. So how to write this in the predicate logic? Hate in bracket Marcus comma Caesar. Okay, hate in bracket Marcus comma Caesar, and we have to take a negation of this. So what we have written? Negation of hate Marcus comma Caesar, because we have to prove the statement Marcus hate the Caesar. But as per the resolution algorithm, whatever the statement that you have to prove, first of all you need to take the negation of this. So I have taken the negation of this, negation of hate Marcus comma Caesar. Okay, now you have to continue unless and until you will find the contradiction. So what you need to do, I will tell you in simple. In the resolution step, you need to try to cancel all this term. You need to look for cancellation of all this term, and when cancellation is possible, negative term get cancelled with the positive term. And in resolution we'll make use of only clause form, but we are not going to make use of predicate logic. This is again important. Most of the time I found that students are making use of predicate logic directly in the resolution, and then numerical gets wrong. So I am just telling you, in the resolution we'll refer all the statements in the clause form only. We are not going to refer step 1, but we are going to refer the step 2. So very first thing, you look for negation of hate Marcus comma Caesar. So what you want? We want positive statement in the clause form. So do we get any positive statement? Let's check over here. In the clause form positive hate is there, yes, but here x2 is there. But in this case, in our case, okay, sorry, in our case in our case Marcus is there. So what we need to do, we need to replace that x2 variable with the Marcus. So for that purpose here 5 is mentioned. Why 5 is mentioned over here? Because step number 5 is there. Okay, so we need to equate this statement 5 with this given statement. Okay, in the given statement, okay, sorry, in the given statement, yes, exactly. Now see here, in the given state, just wait for 1 minute. Yes, in the given statement Marcus is there, and in the clause form x2 is there. So we have to replace this x2 with a Marcus. So that's why we have written, we have to replace this x2 with a Marcus, and we have to equate with the statement number 5. So if you equate this statement with statement number 5, so obviously that head statement, this will get cancelled, but the remaining statement will remain as it is. Negation of Rome, and x2 is replaced by Marcus, and this x2 is also replaced by Marcus. So we got this. Means what we have done initially, we have this statement, and our objective is to cancel the statement. So we need to look for positive statement in the clause form. So we have found that statement number 5 contains this particular statement head, and there it is positive, there it is negative. So there is a possibility that its statement get cancelled. So we have cancelled this, and remaining term we need to write it as it is. Now again we have to look for cancellation of term. Again we have to check the clause form Roman and loyal to, we have to check it for this. So here you can see positive Roman you will find, because in our statement negative Roman is there, and in this case we have positive Roman, so we can equate it with statement number 3. So that's why we have written 3 over here. But only thing is that here statement number 3 x1 is there, and here what we have Marcus. So what we'll do, we try to replace that x1 with Marcus. Okay, and then we equate this. So Pompeian of x1 is replaced by Marcus, negation of Pompeian of Marcus, and this Roman will get cancelled. So this Roman get cancelled, so we got Pompeian from here, and this loyal to will remain as it is, or loyal to. So now we got, this is a new statement after cancellation. So now next we try to cancel this Pompeian. Whether positive Pompeian is there? Yes, in the second statement we got the positive Pompeian, so we will write 2 over here. So we try to cancel this Pompeian present in the second statement, so that we get cancelled. So we have left with loyal to Marcus comma Caesar. Now we have to check for whether negative loyal to is present in the clause form or not. Now see here in the clause form loyal to, where it is present. Yes, it is present in the problem number statement number 7. So this loyal to will get cancelled over here, but we got this new term. Okay, now in the 7th you got that loyal to get cancelled, but in this case we have to replace x4 with Marcus and y1 with Caesar. Okay, so try to replace it, x4 with Caesar and y1 with ruler. Okay, sorry, x4 with Caesar, sorry, x4 with Marcus and y1 with Caesar. We have to replace it. So we have to write this negation of man Marcus, or negation of ruler y1 is replaced by Caesar, or negation of try to assassinate x4 is replaced by Marcus, y1 is replaced by Caesar, and this loyal to is cancelled with this. So we got this term. Now we try to cancel this man. We have negative negation for man, so we have positive, so we'll try to equate with equation 1, sorry, statement 1. So we have written 1 over there. Okay, we try to cancel it 1, so we have written with 1. So negative man positive cancelled, so we have left with ruler and try to assassinate. Then we try to cancel this ruler. So negative ruler is there, but here positive, so we have to equate with rule 4. So this ruler get cancelled over there, so we have left with only negation of try to assassinate. So we have to look for positive try to assassinate in the clause form. So here in the statement number 8 positive try to assassinate is there, so we try to cancel it. So here also we need to replace this Marcus and Caesar. Means you need to understand that in case of resolution, that variable x and y is replaced with its exact value, and finally all terms get cancelled, and finally we got the contradiction. So in this way we can say that hence proved, we have proved that Marcus had Caesar. So this is what a complete procedure to prove the particular problem. So in this case our problem is to prove Marcus hates Caesar. So I hope you understand all the three steps which can be used to solve the numerical based on predicate logic. You will find the numerical based on predicate logic based on these three steps only. Either you need to solve it separately, or you have to solve it completely. Means it's totally depend upon a problem, what is being asked in the problem statement. So based on this you have to solve it. So let me summarize the thing what we have seen. Our problem statement is to prove this Marcus hates Caesar. So this problem is solved in three steps. Step 1, conversion of all the statement to the predicate logic. After that, step 2 is conversion of this predicate logic to the clause form. So where we understand few rules, that suppose we have a universal quantifier, existential quantifier, we need to remove it. Suppose we find implication side, it has to be replaced by formula A implies B is represented by negation of A or B, then standardization of variable. So I think you need to remember these three rule while converting to predicate logic to the clause form. That is in the step 2. And step 3 is what? Resolution. In the resolution step, what are the statement that you have to prove, you have to take the negation of it. Suppose it is positive, you have to take negative. Suppose negative, then you have to take positive. And then you have to continue, you look for cancellation of the term, and for that purpose you need to refer the clause form, but you don't have to refer the step 1, that is predicate logic form. You have to remember this. And finally you need to cancel all these statement, and suppose you reach to this, that means you have proved that particular statement. So I hope you understand how to solve a numerical based on predicate logic. Thank you.